Right, so what we're looking at is all the angle rules that you need to learn. And you need to learn not just what they are, what they're called, or anything else like that. You need to learn to spot them. So the first of the angle rules is the angles on a straight line. So if I take some angles like this, and I tell you that that one is, I'm just making this up, is 50 degrees, then you can work out that that one is 130 degrees. That's the one we just worked out, because angles on a straight line total 180 degrees. So what I've just done here to work that out is I did 180 take away 50 equals 130. Okay, please be aware of the fact that you might not just have two, you might have three or four. Okay, other ones you can have, as an example, you might have an x and a 2x. Okay, but the key rule is that angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. If you're watching this on the internet and thinking, man, that guy's writing is rubbish, that's because I'm dyslexic. Okay, next one. If I do something like this, and I do another one like that, and I tell you that this angle is 130 degrees, and I tell you that this angle is 150 degrees, okay, I can work out that angle there. And that's because angles at a point total 360 degrees. So in order to work this missing one out here, I start, because can you see I've made a circle? That's fundamentally what's happening in this little circle there, look. So 360 take away brackets 130 plus 150. Well, that's 280, isn't it? So that means that that one must be 280 take away 360 take away 280 is 80 degrees. Now I know that doesn't look like 80 degrees, and if I got a protractor out it wouldn't be, but that's because that's not 130 and that's not 150. Alright, that's why, but that's the logic. Cool, right, next one. These ones here, if I take this one here and I make this one, say, let's make this one 40 degrees. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to use the first rule, the straight line rule, to say if that's 40, that must be a straight line, because I drew it with a ruler. Okay, which means that this one is 180 take away 40, so this one's 140. Now that's just using the first rule again. But now if I take this straight line, and using a ruler is a really good idea for this, if that's 140, then by the same logic that must be 40, mustn't it? Or in other words, angles that make a cross, opposite sides of them, the opposite angles, are the same size. Now these are called vertically opposite opposite angles are equal size. So when you see the cross, now if that's 140, then that is also 140. So angles that make a cross shape are called vertically opposite angles and are exactly the same size. And I just went through the logic of why, because of what I told you up there. Okay, next set. Okay, so now I have a triangle. If I call that angle angle A, and I call that triangle angle B, and I call that one angle C, then angles in a triangle total 180 degrees. Okay, so the three angles in there. So for instance, if I told you that was 70 and I told you that was 50, I could say 180 take away brackets 70 plus 50 would equal angle A. 70 plus 50 is 130, I think. Okay, so 180 take away, so there's 120, big pardon. So 180 take away 120 means that A must be 60 degrees. Okay, so that's angles in a triangle. Here I have a set of parallel lines. Okay, if I draw them across like that, remember we talked about the fact that all four of these are the same size as all four of those, but we are at the moment going to look at that one and that one. Okay, so that one is the same as that one, and that one is the same as that one, and so on and so on and so on. These are called alternate angles. Are equal. They make a Z shape. Big Z shape. They are equal and they are called alternate angles. I'm going fast because you can watch the video as many times as you like, can't you? Okay, next set of parallel lines. Remember, all four of those are the same as all four of those, which now allows us to say, let's have that one there is now the same as that one there. Can you see that that's different to that? Yeah, that one goes on the alternate side, this one goes on the same side. And so we call these ones corresponding angles. Are equal in size. Okay, carrying on. Next set. Here is a funny old shape. This is actually a pentagon. If I was to draw the outside angles like this, so if I was to keep it going like this, and I had to walk around, so if I started facing that way and I turned that much, I'd now be facing this way. I get to here, I turn and face that way. I get to here, I turn and face that way. I get to here, I turn and face that way. I turn and face that way. I've got back to where I started from, yes? So in other words, what I've actually turned is 360 degrees. So exterior angles of any shape, any polygon shape, okay? Not this one. Okay? Exterior angles, okay? Total 360 degrees. We're doing really well. We've got one more to go. Ready? Here's how this one works. Okay? That angle there is the same as that angle there. We already know that. I showed you that earlier. Which means that that angle in there and those two, if these two add up to 180 degrees because of the straight line rule, and these two add up to 180 degrees because of the straight line rule, then these two are called co-interior angles. They're both inside. And they total 180 degrees. Okay? And for year 9 in New Zealand, that's what you need to learn. So watch the video and learn them all. Okay? Cool.